also codes identifying where exactly the juridical code needs to change to be gender sensitive for law and policy reform, as well as providing proper guidance on programming and implementation. But unfortunately, these sentiments expressed by West seem to be true, that feminist jurisprudence seem to be on decline, and it needs to be revived. So again, that just supports what I'm saying. And my argument, the conceptual framework that I then suggest, I don't know if people can see it clearly, looks at law and theory in terms of how we need to be theorizing when it comes to law. And again, it also looks at law and the academia. Sometimes we have the University of Malawi, former Chancellor College, where we have the law school. And we also have two new schools that have been accredited. So when we look at the law and academia, these guys can help us develop the jurisprudence that we need. And I think part of my research, like I said, for my research with LUANAR, has been interviewing lecturers at Chancellor College, fourth-year students, judges and lawyers in terms of how law is taught and how law is practiced. So I also look at law and practice, which also involves the judges and the like. And again, I'm also looking at law and society, because most of the times the law does not respond to the needs of the people. If you got out there today and asked the women if they've even had a look in the rural areas at the Land Act, or the Customary Land Act, or the National Land Act, I'm sure the majority of them will tell you that they've not engaged with it. So this conceptual framework provides a holistic approach of who the key fundamental stakeholders are in terms of how we practice law, how we teach law, how the law interacts with the community, and how we theorize with law, where I also recommend that feminist jurisprudence should be at the center of it for sustainable agricultural transformation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tabitha, Atiwonge, sorry, for the wonderful presentation. Let's quickly move to the second presentation, and then we'll go into a session of question and answers. So this presentation is on the occurrence of aflatoxin, that's Kachule PL. If they are around, please move forward. The occurrence of aflatoxin in cow milk in central Malawi.
B1. Aflatoxin B1 is a toxin that is produced by fungal species of Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasiticus that grow in feedstuffs, beet, maize bran, soybeans, and other cereals. So AF1, aflatoxin M1, can be detected in milk when livestock consume aflatoxin-contaminated feed. And this aflatoxin M1, together with the aflatoxin B1, has been categorized as a class 1, a group 1 carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. So that prompted me to include, to do research on this toxin. Why are these toxins important? In human health, these toxins are carcinogenic and they cause stunting in children. That is when children or even adults are consuming contaminated milk, it can cause cancer. And in children, when they are suckling or they are breastfeeding milk, which is whose mom was taking food with aflatoxin, then they can face stunted growth. In livestock production, it leads to reduced milk production, egg production, liver damage, immunosuppression, and reduced reproduction efficiency. And in economics, aflatoxin is very important because it can lead to banning of exportation of farm produce, feed supplements, as well as meat products once it has been detected in these products above the recommended limit. So my general objective for the research was to find the occurrence of aflatoxin M1 in bovine milk samples from central Malawi, that is in Dowa and Lilongwe. Specific objectives, standards, that is the USA FDA, the Codex Alimentarius Commission, as well as the European Commission. The other one was to compare aflatoxin levels in different feeding systems, feed sources, and feed qualities. The other one was to assess the effect of using different protocols of sample preparation of aflatoxin to our districts. Two milk bagging groups, Majig and Lugunu, were selected purposefully because they were supplying to the major dairy industries in Malawi, that is Lilongwe Dairy and Malawi Dairy Industry. A total of 60 dairy farms were considered in the study. Milk samples were also collected grazing farms, small dairy grazing farms. Questionnaires were filled through observations and interviews with the dairy farmers, and the analysis for the aflatoxin M1 was done at Chitedza Research Station. The method for detection and quantification of aflatoxin M1 was the affinity column chromatography method. I used SPSS version 20 to analyze my data, and Curosis Q-ness test was used to assess the normality. Since there was identical sample sizes, 11 test was used to check if the assumption of equiviruses was met. And in the analysis, I considered samples levels above 0.5 parts per billion of the aflatoxin as to be unsafe for consumption. Results and discussion. Out of the 60 farmers that I questioned, 78% of the farmers were not aware of the existence of the toxin, which is bad news. This is a bit higher as